Good morning. I've literally just got out of bed, thrown on some clothes. I'm sorry I'm not made up for this, but I just felt it's like 6:25 in the morning, and it was raining in the night, and my money plants outside have all got this dew just hanging off them, and they're like little crystals, and it all feels really magical. And I just felt I really want to do a reading about what we've been through this year and the lessons that we need to take away from it, and what is being invited in the new year, and what we need to support us through that too. Because as we all know, this year was really challenging, but it was also really magical too, because it was so different. And we were all kind of in the same boat. Anyway, so I think a question I really want to ask is, I want to look at the COVID situation as a teacher, okay? So what did it come here to teach humanity? And let's just start there. And I'm going to choose, actually I'm going to choose an archetype card for that. What did COVID come to choose? What did COVID come to teach humanity? Sorry, I'm still half asleep, but I always feel that my brain's not quite in gear yet, and that will be quite good for me just to channel any other energies that are around. It's very misty outside here. That's why I'm doing it now, before the day starts. I hope you can hear me. I'll speak up in a bit. Okay, well, what was COVID here to teach us? Is the card going to come out? I don't know. Let's see if there'll be a card to come out. And that's this one. I knew this card was going to come out. It's the year I became psychic. Eternal child. Determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. Ability to see things with fresh eyes. Okay, shadow attributes. Inability to grow up and be responsible. Extreme dependency on others for physical security. God, we see this, don't we? How some people had the ability to just go, wow, this is new, and saw the whole thing through this innocence of this childlike innocence. Oh my God, all this space, everything's changed. Oh my God, I can spend more time at home, I can craft, I can do things. They got so into that sense of wonder and awe because everything shifted and changed. The pattern shifted, and they had these childlike eyes and got really excited. And then there was a shadow attribute where you saw I'll take for example, the American leader, inability to grow up and be responsible. And quite a lot of leaders who just didn't take it seriously, were mucking bad, didn't know how to. You could really see how they just did not have the foundational strength to access that part of them and go, oh, wow, okay, this is where we are. What do we need? What's new? Instead, they just needed to, well, this is ridiculous, and, whatever. And also extreme dependency in others for physical security. How many people whinged and whined that they couldn't see people, and they had to see people, and they broke rules so they could see people. And, instead of going, you know what? We can connect through Zoom and we can make this fun. And, as a child who lived abroad for a lot of my childhood, I didn't see my extended family. I saw them once a year. I've always been used to that. And so it really has helped me build a resilience around that. But it definitely showed people who are in each other's lives a lot in that very codependent way really struggled to come to terms with this new way of being. So hell yeah, I really get that. It's the eternal child. Was it able to open you up into something new, with curiosity and a sense of wonder and awe? Or did it make you whinge and whine because it wasn't the way it was, and I don't want to be doing this, and it's all this, and there's a conspiracy theory here, and all of that. God, that's such a great card. I love Caroline Myss for getting straight into it. Okay, that's one. Right, next question. What do we need to take? What teachings, learnings do we need to take from this year into next year, apart from the child? Got the angels, gods, and goddesses cards. See what they bring out. Oh, I've got a card wrong way around. Oh, I've got half the deck wrong way around. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Oh, we're all good now. Okay. Okay, card to let us know what we've learned this year that are we going to take into next year. What do we need to stabilize ourselves with? What foundations and what support can we get from the universe? So let's see what the gods and the angels say. Okay, Angel of Manifestation. Your efforts, determination, and perseverance have paid off. If you're still here, still doing this, you are already. I'm just doing a reading, honey.
Okay, I'm off. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Off. Coffee with.
Oh, okay. All right. Have fun. See ya. Sorry, my life goes on. Angel of Manifestation. So your efforts, determination, perseverance have paid off. If you're still here, you're past, okay? And here's the thing. I sometimes think that we forget that we are children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren of people that survived really tough times, like wars and famines and all the rest of it. We have that in our DNA. We have that survivor gene in our DNA. There are many families that got disrupted through that time that didn't survive. And so we're here. So that determination and perseverance is paid off. And so the Angel of Manifestation is just around. It feels like, I might just read but what do we want to experience more of? Something you've yearned for, dreamt of, and worked towards is about to manifest, yet it's not a time for wild elation. Keep focus and balance. Do not lose sight of your original purpose. Quietly give thanks to your angels, gods, and goddesses for this blessing. Continue quietly on your work. It feels like many of us were really unhappy in the lives, not necessarily the lives that we had, but what we saw around us. We were kind of go, oh God, that's that and that and that. And the truth is, as I was saying to a girlfriend this week, we live both in a violent, cruel, and corrupt world, as much as we live in a beautiful, harmonious and joyful world. And, you know, to deny one or the other is irresponsible. We have to accept that. And so the angel of manifestation, I feel, is here to say, you know, we have got through the violence, the corruption, and all the rest of it. We've managed to still focus on the joy and the harmony and the interdependence and the interconnections of others. And we can build more of that. I really feel that we're being offered to build more of that. See what that you don't like. See the things that, you know, that this year has shown us that, God, we need to do better. We need better leadership. You know, we need more cohesiveness in our communities in terms of that understanding that we all work together to bring, you know, this wholeness and a more harmonious community into fruition. And it's really interesting because Amanda Ellis, who I watch, who is a very gifted and talented channeler and reader, and she talked about this week about penguins. I love this analogy, and how penguins, when they come together, and it's really, really cold, there's ones on the outside and there's ones that huddle on the inside. And the ones on the inside are obviously warmer, and the ones on the outside are obviously a little bit cold and are building up a resilience. And then they swap. The ones on the outside are in the inside, and the ones on the inside are that. They take turns. And here's the thing, is I feel that in our world, there are definitely people who continue to stay in the middle. They're just in the middle. They don't want to go to the outside. They're just like, no, this is where I want to stay and this is how I want to do it. And tough, you'll have to stay on the outside. They're not playing the game of interconnectedness, of understanding their responsibility in the whole. They think it's just all about them and their comfort. And I really, really feel that this is going to be shifting, and they're going to get pushed to the outside. And that awakening process is going to, you know, is going to create a bit of a rupture, which might feel very uncomfortable for a lot of people. This year, certainly it has. We've started that process, but I feel like next year we're going to maybe have more of that. And so those of us who have spent time in that space of interconnectedness, of, you know, doing we're in the middle and we're in the outside, and built that resilience up, really can help by anchoring what we already know and understand about what it is to work through your stuff, to be a self-healer. Anybody who's followed the holistic psychiatrist and knows her work, she got, you know, people that self-heal, work in peer support, versus always having somebody to follow. I mean, it's always good to have a teacher to guide. I kind of, you know, watch different people. But at the end of the day, I always tune into what feels right for me. And again, that's what you should do too. Just, yeah, does this resonate for me? No, chuck it out. So yeah, what are we taking forward? What skills, what perseverance and determination to make it different, to bring more harmony, to bring more joy, to bring more abundance, to bring more diversity, to celebrate more people, to bring more equanimity and equality to everybody. So that there's not just a few of us that are enjoying, you know, shelter, food, abundance, that it can be experienced across the board with everybody. And that we step away from a system, as Sonia Renee Taylor, I read her book this year, amazing, The Body Is Not an Apology, says, you know, let's step away from the system that is not serving everybody. It serves, you know, at the top, the white, blue-eyed, blonde male. And at the bottom of that ladder are, you know, black woman. I don't know. who else is at the bottom of the pile, but for me, that's who I see symbolized at the bottom. We don't want disabled people, you know, people with different sexual preferences and pronouns, and yeah, the non-binary community, and you know, all of those people that don't fit into that ladder, or in that sort of, where are you on the rung? No, let's just step away from that model and create our own. And that's definitely where I feel guided to spend my energy, is how can I support growing something that is more inclusive. So that's that card. And I'm going to pick one more card. What am I going to pick it about? No. Focus. What's our focus for 2021? What's our focus for 2021? This is for the collective. All of this is for the collective. I don't know how long I've been on here. I hope I can upload it. I think I'll probably put it on YouTube. Anyway, what's our focus as a collective this year? Oh no, not ready yet. It's a little bit. Oh, there we go. Ooh. And Carla will love this. Bridget! We've been talking so much about her. Celtic goddess, Bridget. Birth, soul empowerment, radiance, passion. All right, Bridget, tell me what's going on. Where am I? Where's my little book that goes with this? Ah, here we go. Okay, Bridget, 34. I don't know. I know she is the Celtic goddess. The light of healing and illumination is within, upon the path of truth of my soul. The message: reignite the spark of passion inside you that has burned down to a flicker. Okay. Take some time to plan and plot a course of action that will ignite your passion once again. Restore your weariness and refuel your soul energy so that you can achieve all that you set your heart's desire on. Okay, I'm just going to talk about this in a personal sense. You know, last year I was doing a lot of different things, and I came at the end of the year into a menopause course, and I also did how to create your own oracle card deck. And through that process, I realized that I was still popping in and out of the repair phase of menopause, a really fundamental, important part of menopause, which is where your body says, hell no, we're not doing that anymore. We need to stop, we need to rest, and we need to your system opens up. And it has this opportunity to realign and reset and heal bits from pregnancies and rushing around looking after children, if that was on your path, or maybe it was a career path that you had and you were doing a lot of rushing around there, or maybe it was being a carer to family and rushing around there. Whatever it was that you did, menopause, middle age comes along. And I feel this is relevant for men too, to reset our systems, to go, hey, are you still wanting to do that thing? Are you still passionate about it? Or is it just a daily grind that is getting you a pension, or is getting you that identity that you feel that you need in order to be accepted in the world? Bridget comes along and says, no, fuck that. She said, what do you really want to do? I always remember being at this dinner party in Edinburgh, and I had been chatting to this guy, and in fact I'd met his son a few weeks before, and the son was doing this really, really tragically boring job. I don't know what he was doing. It was like pushing paper around desks, and he was just like, oh my God. And listen, for some people, they love that sort of thing. Good on them. But he was hating it. And I said, well, what would you really like to do? And he said, oh, I love cooking. I love making Scotch eggs. And I said, well, you could always, you know, buy an old Robin Reliant, do it up and sell, you know, make them and sell them at markets and at street fairs and things like that. His little face lit up. It was like, is that even possible? I was like, why not? You know, I live in Australia. There's loads of that going on. Of course, it's, you know, there's a lot more of it going on in Europe, but at the time there wasn't. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, I meet his father at this dinner and we're chatting. And I said, oh, I spoke to your son. And he went, and I said, oh, I was talking to him about, you know, Scotch eggs. He said, oh, you're the one that came up with that crazy idea. And I went, say more about why you think it's crazy. And he was like, well, I mean, you know, he's not going to make money. And I said, yeah, but it's not really all about the money. It's about doing what you love, because the money becomes really secondary, you know, because you do what you love and the money just comes as part of that. Anyway, I said, what would you do? He was a lawyer. I said, what would you do if you could do anything? And he said, oh my God, I love music. He said, you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to offer my legal brain to the Glastonbury Festival gang, the team down there. He said, I'd love to go down and live in a caravan for 6 months and help them do all that kind of paperwork and working out all the logistics and the legal stuff and the ethics and all of that stuff. He said, love that, but be part of a team that are creating this incredible festival. I'd love to do that. I was like, so what's stopping you? Oh, well, you know, my parents are getting old and, you know, and I'm like, yeah. Here's the thing. When we went traveling around the world, when my kids were 7, 4, and 5 months, there were 7,220 billion reasons why we shouldn't have gone. And there was one reason why we did, because we wanted to do something as a family that we would always remember. It would just be the foundation. And it actually brought us here, which is why we're here in Australia today. So here's the thing. Sometimes you have to do the crazy thing and people will go, oh my God, because out of a traditional conservative value, it is bonkers. But Bridget is really the goddess, the Celtic goddess of do that crazy shit. Don't give a stuff what anybody else thinks. Do what you love. If it's collecting buttons and making, you know, pearly outfits out of that, do that. If it's, you know, making, you know, biscuits and selling them at markets, do that. If it's making an oracle card deck, do that. Do what makes you feel joy. And certainly for me personally, when I tuned into what do I want to be doing next year, I realized that I need more rest and recovery time. I'm not quite fully out. I'm not ready to dive in to the deeper work that I do feel called to do. And so what felt really lovely to do was to stop and share the wisdom that I've accumulated in my life so far, and to create an oracle deck, write all that down, paint it, and create something that I can put out to the world and say, here, use these. They're not going to be angels, goddesses cards and elemental cards and sacred power cards and, you know, Metatron and archangel cards. They're going to be really grounded in lived experience cards, okay, where you can go, oh yeah, I recognize that story. I've been in something similar, not same story, but I recognize the characters and the situation. That really resonates for me. Or, oh my God, I hadn't seen it from that insight before. So this year, we are being told to focus on what makes us feel alive. That little pilot flame that's just been in there. You know, that you get in the old, we've got a gas boiler, but you know, when it starts up and it's just this little pilot light, and then suddenly when the timer goes click, it goes whoosh. That's what we need to focus on this year. So, listen, I hope this is served. I wish you all a very, very happy new year. It's been absolutely gorgeous to take up my card reading again this year. I had done it for a couple of years or a year and a bit, and then I felt called to stop. And this year I felt, yeah, get back in the saddle, and it's so lovely to be back here. And I really appreciate everybody's comments. And yeah, at how these readings resonate for them and how they've supported them. So thank you so much. Please continue to comment and support and watch and let me know if there's anything else that you would specifically like focus on, because we can do readings on that too. Anyway, sending you lots of love, happy new year, and I wish you all the very, very best for 2021.